Hey guys, CalebX01. Thank you for joining me again for another random horror review. And for today's review, we are looking into 1987's Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2. I hate that title. I'm just going to call it Prom Night 2 because that's what I always call it. I'm not sure if people actually like that title. I'm sure there are, but fuck, that's annoying to say. Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2. What the fuck? Yeah, this is my double feature, obviously, with the original Prom Night 2. The original one, obviously, I feel like is just a cult movie at the moment. Yeah, it follows a more slasher route, especially typical slashers of the time. This one follows a more supernatural route. I don't know why I'm saying that, because we're not comparing the films, but take that out of it. Prom Night 2 is what we're looking at. Yeah, I guess I'll get into the plot. I don't know why I started rambling about the first one, but it's Prom Night 1957 at Hamilton High. I just read that off the back. The film takes place 30 years later, but to set the scene, it's Prom Night 1957. We have our character that we're following at the time, Mary Lou, who, if I'm being completely honest, just gives off vibes that she's not a very good person. I feel like she's really nasty and a bit of a bitch. But obviously people seem to like her because she wins prom queen and she seems very popular, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit fucking stuck up, I don't even know, but she just seemed nasty, but a lot of people like her. I know why the boys like her, but like, I'm not going to say what she is, but anyway, yeah, 1957, we're following Mary Lou, bit of a bitch. And basically what gives off the biggest vibes that she's a bitch at prom night, she cheats on her nerdy boyfriend with this other guy. The boyfriend confronts her, and she just dumps him on the spot, and the night goes on. He plans to get his revenge on Mary Lou now. He's going to drop a stink bomb on her while she goes up and gets awarded prom queen. The moment comes, Mary Lou goes up to accept, he drops the stink bomb, and the prank goes awry, her dress catches fire, and Mary Lou burns to a crisp. She dies. Anyway, now the plot follows 30 years later. Mary Lou is out for revenge. The boyfriend that did the prank on her is now the principal of the school. His son is dating our lead, Vicky. So yeah, Mary Lou is out for revenge. Obviously having the principal's son at the school, I guess it's hurt him by getting to the son. And also she wants to take out anyone who is going for the position of prom queen, because she wants to take her position that she never got. Obviously because she was killed. That's our plot. As I said, 30 years later now, we're following this lead, Vicky. The characters in this movie are pretty solid, so I won't get into that too much. And yeah, we have Vicky going through school. She's a contender for being prom queen. So Mary Lou is haunting Vicky and eventually has a plan to possess her so that she can take out whoever she wants and accept her position as prom queen. We'll leave the plot there and we'll get into my thoughts of the movie. This is a movie I've seen a few times beforehand. I actually like it more than the original Prom Night. I just genuinely think Prom Night is one of the most overrated horror movies just of all time. I'll admit it's a cult classic. It has a lot of people who do enjoy it, but I just fucking find it boring. I prefer to watch Prom Night 2 over the original anytime. It's a lot cheesier. It's a lot goofier. Excuse me. Sometimes in this movie it follows, not even sometimes, it definitely follows a more comedic route. Through this movie, as I said, different elements in there, a more supernatural feel to this one. This movie is like a cheesier, more fun, relaxed version of Carrie, as in, you got the prom night, prank goes awry, a girl with supernatural abilities. I don't know, it sort of gives me Carrie vibes, obviously not as good. But yeah, just small hints along there. But yeah, I've always sort of liked this movie. But going back this time, maybe it didn't quite hold up as well. If we're talking about the opening scene, the movie starts off with a bang because that opening is so good. As I said, this movie is a little bit more cheesy and, goofy, but that opening scene where Mary Lou's dress catches fire and she's just twirling in flame and everyone's screaming, that is so fucking cool. What a way to open the movie, with a bang. And the end, we'll get to the ending because I think the ending is also really solid. But the middle chunk of this movie is, I sort of just feel like, is stuffed with filler, as in there's a lot of things put in there that have the, ability to be really, really good, but just sort of miss. As in, there's this cool scene in the cafeteria where the effects are really solid. And at the time you're like, oh, well, that's sort of cool. But then it just ends and, there's sort of nothing going on for a while. And then there's another cool scene in Vicky's bedroom where Mary Lou is haunting her and, there's this demonic rocking horse and stuff. Once again, really cool, but then it's just over and you just feel like it's not as impactful as what it should be. And, with that being said, the middle of the film sort of slows down and feels like it's being stuffed with a lot of filler where, as I said, these scenes have the potential to really impact and, make this film a lot more solid. But I don't know, maybe it was just this time around they didn't quite hit for me. Also, there was, some really weird things that I was picking up in the story for this movie this time around. We get introduced to one of Vicky's friends early in the film. I believe her name's, Jess or something. And, she's upset and whatever, and Vicky's like, oh, what's wrong? And, inserted into the plot, we find out that Jess is pregnant, obviously got knocked up by some guy, and she's worried because she doesn't know what she's going to do. 5 minutes later, Jess is killed, and, I don't know, was that plot line that she's pregnant really needed? I don't know, it just sort of stuck out a lot this time around. I don't know, it was getting to me. I'm like, why the fuck did they write that into the plot? They never bring it up again. I don't know, I just thought it was weird. Another really weird thing that stuck out this time, I don't know how I didn't notice this. I was like, what the fuck? So, as I said, majority of the movie, that takes place in the present time of the film. Vicky is being haunted by Mary Lou. Mary Lou finally possesses her. This is before, it's on the day of the prom, but before the prom event starts. She gets possessed by Mary Lou, and she's at her house, and she starts making out with her dad. And I get it, because Mary Lou is just that type of person. But the weird thing was, the dad, didn't push away and he wasn't against it. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is the dad, making out with his daughter and, not what the fuck, get off me? And I don't know. It was really weird. The family dynamic in this movie, the mum's, super religious, and her and Vicky are, never seeing eye to eye in this movie. Once again, even that sort of goes nowhere. The dad's a bit more chill, but not chill enough to be accepting a makeout session from your daughter. I thought that was just fucking weird. But yeah, just weird things like that also through the middle of the movie that just sort of stuck out this time. So yeah, a really solid opening, but the middle of this film just, it was frustrating because I remembered it being a lot more solid, but, the scenes where I really thought they could have hit home runs and been a lot more impactful just weren't there. But then again, we'll get to the end of this movie. Once again, now we're at the 1987 prom night. Vicky was a contender of winning prom queen. She does, and now it's time for Mary Lou to get her revenge. And this scene is fucking awesome. Once again, just super cool, giving me Carrie vibes, as in, run amok at a prom. It's super fucking cool. Also, the scene reminds me of Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, when Freddy, I forget the lead of that movie's name, anyway, but when Freddy rips out of his body, same sort of thing here. Vicky's taken down, and Mary Lou's burning skeleton corpse just rises out of Vicky. It's so fucking cool. That's one thing for this movie. I think I said it before, I'm not too sure, but the effects are really fucking solid for this movie. Just the scenes in the middle is just where it's not as impactful, but definitely the scenes in the prom at the start and the end really fucking solid. Yeah, like it almost just sort of redeems the film being the start and finish. Every just prom scene in this movie is really solid. Once again, I like Mary Lou's supernatural powers. You know, I just feel like it gives the movie more fun. You know, she's electrocuting people. She's, you know, making people do all these crazy things, squishing people in lockers. It's fucking awesome. A lot more cheesy, and this is a movie that you can have fun with. Just unfortunately, this time around, through the middle, I just found it a lot sort of slower and a little bit tougher to get through, but overall, this movie isn't a complete dud. Now, I'm not going to take too much away from the movie for this, because it might have just been this release's fault, but some of the audio in this movie was a bit shit, especially during the start. It got a bit better as it went on. I'm guessing that's the release's fault, so I'm not going to take too much away from the movie. But also at the start of the movie, there's some really jarring edits, which I'm sure does fall to the movie. I doubt that was the, you know, whatever company released this. Yeah, some really jarring edits, but as that went on, it got a bit better. We'll quickly just now wrap it up, I guess, because I've sort of spoken about the film enough and my thoughts on the ups and downs of it. This movie is fun. It definitely is, for me, a step up from the original Prom Night. I actually really like Prom Night 3 as well. I haven't seen the fourth one, but both of them follow sort of Mary Lou and supernatural shenanigans on Prom Night, but this one, it's fun. Just unfortunately, maybe it was just my mood this time around. The middle just felt like a lot more filler, and the scenes could have impacted a little bit more, but it really, like, it starts off with a bang, sort of dips down, but it really sort of makes it up for it at the end, because that final scene at the prom, yeah, just such a great time, and this is a movie you can have plenty of fun with. You know, by yourself, just have a few drinks or whatever, have some people over, it's a good time. I'm gonna give Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 a 6 out of 10. Yeah, relatively solid. It's above average. You know, could possibly go higher, but this time around I thought a 6 was fine, and we'll leave it there for today's random horror review. Once again, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm appreciating everyone who is coming back, and everyone who is subscribing. I'm at 10 subscribers at the moment. I know that's not a lot, but I'm super proud of that. I appreciate, you know, if anyone's spreading the word of my channel or recommending it to people. I really do appreciate that, because I'm enjoying watching it grow, and you know, the small amount of people that comment and interact with me, I really like that too. But anyway, we'll leave it there, and I'll see you guys hopefully soon for some more content. So stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.